you doing? Welcome back to Leather Helmet Fandom Sports Podcast. As usual, you got Josh. You got myself. Going into week, five?
5 already, yeah.
Going to week 5. We're already a quarter past of the NFL. And Josh, you want to do a recap of our week 4 and our total on the year?
Not the best week. I swore we changed this, but that's okay. This is actually week 4. So combined, we went negative 5.45. I took the L again this week, ended at negative 4.77. We both started off pretty good. I think we hit all our Thursday bets from last week. But, yeah.
My lock.
I don't really have a good excuse. I mean, you missed your lock. I don't have a real good excuse except for it's just not great lines. Got to look in a little harder.
I would say it's kind of BS, though, if you look at it. Colts literally didn't stop the run at all, and then all of a sudden, Najee Harris just couldn't run the rock whatsoever. He looked
Is that the game Patterson
horrible.
went off?
No, it was last week. Patterson got hurt. Yeah, but I don't even think Patterson was playing. Maybe.
Yeah.
He played a couple snaps, but it was just Harris just getting stuffed over and over and over. And the Colts just kept scoring on us at will, and then we finally started coming back. So it was a horrible lock.
It was Justin Fields day.
But it's all right. Steelers are going to bounce back. We play Cowboys, and Parsons out. So Harris is probably going to go over his rushing yards this week. Unfortunately, I am not going to be on it.
Yeah. I will say, though, like, usually you have a better sense after the first 3 to 5 weeks about, like, what defenses are what offenses are flaky or not flaky. I mean, there's
people that are going to get hurt are hurt and actually out. So now there's less injuries.
Yeah. So some more, like, teams, I guess you would say, on targeting and lines, just based off, like, how they perform. Is some of them are just crazy. Like, I would say Broncos are crazy good defense. Vikings, still really good defense. Some, like, Colts, there's a little... I mean, they're not good at either side, really, but, like, you were targeting them last time for rushing, and they're really not good either way, so it doesn't benefit the rush side that their passing is also bad defense. Yeah. Anyways, let's go real quick cap on the whole year. So, even though we had a bad last week, or at least I've just been bad every week, not too much in the hole yet. That
I'm still positive.
Yeah, you're still positive, so that's always a plus. I'm definitely pulling it down. I think I got us in the negative 15 pretty much. But we'll bounce back.
We got to get you back in that positive, dude.
I got it. This is a good week. Ready? Here comes the lock.
Someone bet with you. They're down $236. Let's get them back up to where they need to be.
I got it. I'm confident.
They got to bring it to their girlfriends. Hey, I'm actually getting money off this, all right?
I got it. Watch.
All right.
Just watch.
Let's move on to our favorite picks. Like always, this year we're going over our 3 favorite picks and possibly maybe posting our whole line.
We got to do one more time.
Oh, we always forget this. The wheel.
Yeah,
I always forget this.
Took my L. So
Josh takes his L for the 3rd week in a row.
Away. So let's see what we got. Hopefully nothing crazy.
What do we got?
Bounce back.
Bounce it.
Right, so pretty much I have to take a bet from last week that did not hit. So I got to bounce back.
I don't know what your bets were last week. I just know mine. Remember
My
yours?
bets last week were I had Shaheed under 3.5 receptions. I had Darnold under 228.5 passing yards. And then I had Bowers and Kincaid 25-plus receiving yards. So if I had to do it one again without even just looking at the lines,
Vikings play Jets.
probably do Bowers and Kincaid 25-plus receiving because that was a bad beat. Bowers had 19 yards.
Yeah, that was awful.
Which
Bills play Texans and Raiders play Broncos. Ooh.
Yeah, tough matchup, but 25-plus receiving without Adams in, like, at all this game. Last game he was hindered, fake hindered, but both guys are, like, key points of their offenses. Kincaid can
you don't want the Rashid one, dude? Let's see who Saints play. Saints play Chiefs.
Yeah, I felt good about that until I felt good about that last time, and he had freaking 8 receptions.
Yeah, but they also played who? They played Atlanta.
Atlanta's a good, decent defense. Like, Baker only put up 108 yards. They barely led over 200 yards all year.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. What's his name? Like Shaheed way too much. Derek Carr. I do not trust it for the
All right.
under.
So you got 1 unit. All right. To start this week off.
1 unit. Bowers and Kincaid 25 plus receiving.
All right.
Whatever odds I get. It's probably gonna be sucky odds, but whatever. I'll take it.
It's a great way to start off your week.
Is it?
Yeah. Go back positive, dude.
Well, I already got positive
Thursday. So then you hit this one again. Then you're really good.
I feel like there are like a lot of bets that look good. Huh?
Swap back to the next bets.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of times though, like if you do follow up on a bet that you thought was a really good bet, I mean it does matter matchup, but there's a good chance that it'll actually hit the second week. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Just like I was talking about Najee Harris. He'll probably go over his over this time, even though last week when he played the Colts, the worst rushing defense, somehow, some way he went under, but whatever. All right, moving on to our favorite picks. I'm going to start off mine this week. I'm going to go over with my boy, Josh Jacobs. Not really my boy. Don't really like him, actually. But this week, where he's playing, who he's playing, I like all of it, all right? So I'm going to take that over 62.5 rushing yards for 3 units at minus 114.
Okay.
Doing 3 units. Packers are away, yet they're favored by 3, so they should be in a positive game script, obviously, based upon the books, not me. Truthfully, I still think they're going to be with how hurt the Rams are because that's who they're playing this week. Both offensive line is depleted, and their wide receiver room is depleted as well. And they just don't really have that good of a defense, so I could see them definitely being in that positive game script, at least for this game, should I say. The Rams start off really slow and have never won a first half ever money line this year, which is crazy. Green Bay averages 26 points per game, which is the 6th highest in the league. And that was with missing Love 2 of the weeks. So they're still the 6th highest in the league. So imagine if they actually had Jordan Love as their quarterback for 2 of the 4 weeks. They'll probably be even higher than that. Again, that goes towards a positive game script or them at least being in the game and not being a negative game script where they just have to throw a lot more. Rams are dead last in rushing yards allowed per game. Used to be the Colts until Najee Harris shit the bed last week. And now the Rams are taking over. Like you said last week, though, Colts the week before they played the Steelers, they actually had a decent game. I forget who they played, but they held someone low on the rushing yards allowed. But anyway, Rams are dead last, and probably also because they're never can get started hot, and they're always losing first half money line. Here's some of the running back numbers that they put up, or people put up against the Rams. You got Swift, which we're talking about Swift, getting 93 yards.
That was last week, right?
Yeah, last week. 93 yards, 5.8 yards per carry. We got Mason, 77 yards, 4.05 yards per carry. I would feel like that one should be a little bit higher, to be honest.
It's a divisional game, though.
Yeah, they also, I believe Rams also won that, right? Because you bet on that? Yeah. And then we got James Conner, 122 yards. That's 5.81 yards per carry. Gibbs, this one's really low, but when you got Montgomery on the other side doing it, you got Gibbs at 40 yards per carry, or 40 yards, 3.6. It's still pretty good for yards per carry. And Montgomery, the reason why Gibbs wasn't needed, had 91 yards, 5.3 yards per carry. So basically they're averaging like above 5 yards per carry to the running backs. And Love had to throw 54 times last week. And even though he threw 54 times, which is insane, Jacobs still had 51 yards on 9 attempts. So you're telling me if you give him even...
they lost that game, right? Yeah, they were coming back 28-0.
Yeah. So you're telling me that they're playing the worst running team, run defense in the league, and he's going to get more than 9 attempts. He's going to be in positive game script. Love is back. They should be ahead early. There's just so much to him as far as the positive side goes that I can't see this not going under. I would like it a little bit in the like 50s, the high 50s. So if this drops at all, even if it drops down to like 60 or 61, I would even slam it harder, but I'm just going to leave it at 62.5 rushing yards for 3 units right now on his over, just because I feel like he's going to go up fast. So
I feel like I haven't looked into them myself or watched them much. I mean, he looks good, but I've heard that the rookie is taking some snaps, and like they're whatever. Just a story more that the Packers do more of a timeshare type running backs, like they have in the past with Are
you talking about Emmanuel or something? His name
Emmanuel
is, right?
Wilson. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I don't know if he's not
a
getting,
rookie.
If Jacobs, even worse. If Jacobs is getting, let's say, 65 to 70% or more, I wouldn't be worried. But if Jacobs is getting like 55 and 45 is going to Wilson, I'd be a little worried.
I would be worried if they weren't going to be in positive game script, if Rams didn't lose every first half money line, if Rams weren't depleted everywhere. Like, there's just so much going towards them positive that just scratches that off completely.
Yeah, like Wilson would have to really go off. Almost like a Braylon Allen type, Breece Hall type of
They would
game.
probably have to be up 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Which is possible, honestly, but
in the third quarter, they would have to be up like 3 touchdowns, like mid-third quarter for Wilson to take over that much work. But I can't see that happen. So that's why I'm taking the 3 units, just because when I was running the numbers, there wasn't one negative thing towards that, and I don't see Wilson as a negative. But you want to go over your first one?
Yeah, so I'm going to take Derrick Henry, the king of the north. Well, not really that far north, but Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to take his over for the fourth quarter specifically.
Interesting.
So just the fourth quarter to go over 14.5 rushing yards. You get -111, -111 odds. I'm actually going to switch this to 3 units because I just realized all of our bets are dead even units if I do that, and I like it a lot. So 3 units.
Trying to win.
Yeah, I'm already in the lead, but no, I actually do like this bet. I contemplated making it a lock. I just feel weird about making stuff a lock that's specific to a quarter.
Right.
But
definitely
anybody who knows Henry knows he runs better the more he gets the ball. He actually runs better more towards the end of the game. He runs better the colder he gets. Like he's just a really tough runner. Like he wants the ball and he gets better as he gets going, which is strange, but whatever. He has a 75% hit rate this year. So 3 out of his 4 games this year have hit for the fourth quarter. The only one that didn't hit was versus the Chiefs. They were down 7 points with only 5 minutes left in the game. And they put Justice Hill in. More like a 2-minute drill type of deal. All passes for the most part. But they love using Henry. And honestly, I think the Ravens are a way better team, both defensively and offensively, than the Bengals they get this week. I mean, they're a favorite by like 2.5 points on the road versus the Bengals. So that kind of shows you right there. If they were home, it'd be like 5.5 almost favorites. Right. They're just, I mean, they beat the Bills pretty easily. So I think their defense is playing really well. They're gelling. Even though the Bengals look better, I think they're going to struggle to really keep drives alive. And because of that, they're just going to be like, here, Henry, get 25 carries. So unless it's a blowout to the extent like it's, which I don't think it could be that much of a blowout, a divisional game. Seems a little weird to get that high. It's possible, but I don't think it'll happen. So close enough that Derrick Henry stays on the field, far enough that they're like, just run the ball, man. Do what you got to do. Get 14.5. That's like, for him, I would say on the high end, all he needs is 4 attempts.
Yeah.
He could do it in 2 attempts, but 4 attempts, he should be able to hit it. So I got 3 units on it. I like it.
I think 2 things about this bet. One, I don't think last year FanDuel even offered or books even offered this kind of line.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen it often.
And this is like very strange because of just imagine like how you are watching the game, like don't care. Ooh, fourth quarter, here we come. Let's go, boy. Imagine if like it's just about to change over from third to fourth. He hits like a 60-yard rush, right? And
or
that 60 yards there.
ACL in the third quarter.
No, not even disregard injury. That's going to happen regardless of whatever bet you bet on. But he runs 60 yards, gets gassed, they get a touchdown. Then he goes up by like 14 points. And then you're like, oh, Hill, just come on in, or we don't need to use you that much.
14 points isn't that big of a gap. They would still
going
use
into
Henry.
fourth?
Yeah, they would still use Henry.
Maybe.
They will.
But all I'm saying is, if you're sitting there going into the fourth, like, all right, this is when it matters, and then he does some crazy play in the third, and you're just like, you're gonna just wait like two more seconds.
Like, how much did they beat the Bills by? That was just last week, like 20 points.
It was a lot. And they exposed the shit out of him.
He put up 60 yards in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and he also first play of the game.
If you look at
plus rush yard.
So he had the one game he missed, right? The other 3 games, he put up 40 yards, 25 yards, and 60 yards in the fourth quarters.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So,
all right. One last thing I want to talk about that was I think it's funny how John Harbaugh spoke about Derrick Henry after the first week. We didn't bring him over here to use him for him to rush 20 times, and then literally the second week on 18 rush attempts, 24 rush attempts, 20 rush attempts.
Mark Andrews has 0 receptions.
Right,
0
like
receptions.
a BS. That's what it is. Like, no, you just came in and you got shut out by KC. Suck it up, dude. That's how it went. But anyway, moving on to my second bet. Stephon Diggs, the Bull, is going up against his old team for the first time this year. And obviously it's going to be a thing that is talked about on all medias going into the week. So maybe there's too much money on his time to go off, so then maybe that's a reason it won't hit. But I'm going to ride with it. Stephon Diggs over 51.5 receiving yards, minus 113. Only going to put one unit on it strictly because of this hype thing. And Tank Dell still might play. He might not. Who knows yet? But
he's going to play, but he's still
hindered with his injury. But it's a sure fact that I'm only going to do one unit because it can easily go under, but it can also easily go over with how much they have offensive wise on this team. Where are we at? He averages 8, so there's a little bit of math. All right, go ahead and do it. I want you to. Maybe I'll put it on the screen. Maybe you can think of it in your head. All right, so he averages 8.25 targets per game and 6.25 receptions per game with a 9.4 yards per game. So basically, he's getting...
You mean 9.4 per catch?
Yeah, per catch. Sorry. He's basically getting 8 targets a game, 6 receptions a game, and of those receptions, he's basically getting like 9.5 yards each time he catches the ball. All right, so that gives you a total of 59 yards on average for him, and he plays the slot. He's going up against his team, like I said. So they're probably going to. Knowing him, he's going to be like, hey, I want the ball, yo. Give me the ball, Stroud. Give me the ball. Come on, dude. I got this. I got to shut him up. Plus, the other thing I love is that Josh Allen was low-key throwing shade at him and then went and didn't double down, went back and tried to act like it wasn't about Stephon Diggs, but he literally said, it's nice that we don't have people caring about stats. So he's talking about someone. Who is he talking about? The fact that everyone just jumped to Stephon Diggs makes sense with how last year ended, giving him less work last year towards the end of the season, him complaining and all of that. So the fact that we know who Stephon Diggs is, we know the situation, we know that Stroud would give him the work, we know Stroud throws a lot, Mixon's not in. There's just a lot going towards him being like, hey, if he's going to have, I wouldn't even say a revenge game of like 100 yards, but just a revenge game of easily going over this average, because that's what I just did with the numbers. His average would be 59 yards a game, and they're giving him at 51 yards per game. So with all that being said, I can see him throwing it to him enough, being in the slot position, and him going over this. His targets and yards have only been going up each game, and that might have to do a little bit with Mixon being out, because when Mixon was in, he was just, I wouldn't even say it was a screen. It was like a bubble screen or just like a pass protection that he just gave up because no one was rushing the middle, and then he would run through the middle and then just dump it off to Mixon, and that's how Mixon was getting majority of his receptions / targets, and that is kind of right around the slot position, taking away from that. So if you give that back to him, then I could see him getting more work with Mixon being out, and I can't see Cam Akers doing that because I think very lowly of Cam Akers. But with all that being said, taking is over 51.5 just for 1 unit. And that is my second bet. You want to move on to your third bet?
Shoot, third
or second bet?
So we're going to do another quarter bet. Humping on this quarter train. FanDuel's trying to get everybody to waste their money, but
No, your second bet.
yeah, it's my second bet, bro.
Oh, you're doing quarter. Oh, I see.
Like a quarter. So
Gotcha.
we're going to take Breece Hall. First quarter only, over 2.5 receiving yards. Pretty much saying he catches one ball and moves forward, not backwards. So only needs one reception to hit this line. It's negative 110 odds. I'm going to take it at 1 unit. 100% hit rate this year. Averaging 6 targets per game. He's still at 75% snap rate. So
I play Vikings.
a lot of people are on the Allen train. Yes, he's a very explosive player. Yes, he's going to get some work when he's in there. But if he's getting 75% snap rate still, he is going to be the first one to get the role. Like he's
right.
Like the first quarter is going to Breece Hall almost the whole drive. So I think he gets a hard matchup against the Vikings, but I think that's actually helpful for this line specifically, just because it's going to result in more third downs, more passing downs. May result in just a quick check down to Breece Hall. Hopefully that's the point of it. So I do think that's a small benefit, not a huge benefit. But I think they'll get at least 2 drives in within the first quarter, and that'll be enough to get Breece Hall his first reception and hit this line.
So you're going to be out here like first quarter, this game. Yeah. All right. Fourth quarter,
Are they
this
both
game.
1 o'clock games? I don't even know.
The Vikings is.
It's 9:30 a.m.
9:30 a.m.
Breece Hall Jets.
Ooh, let's go.
Get up early, get some coffee, get your first hit. Go get your breakfast for free.
I have to make a reel for Sunday morning, a reel for Sunday night, and a reel for Monday.
Get your eggs and bacon because of Breece Hall.
I think you might go really negative or really positive this week. We'll see if I have the time for that. But yeah, it's just gonna be funny and interesting seeing you watch multiple quarters instead of full games.
You're like, oh, lost a bet. Got to put another one in. Another quarter.
All right. So moving on to my third and last bet. It's not my favorite, and it's not a lock, but it's something that is pretty simple. There's not much that needs to happen other than it. I'm going to take T. Higgins anytime touchdown plus 190 for half a unit. Half a unit basically gets you 1 unit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be your money.
So basically it's a 1 unit. Just under 1 unit profit. So if you're putting the $15 in, it'll get you like 28, something like that. But regardless, he hasn't got a touchdown once this week. And who do they play?
Once this year,
Ravens. What?
You mean this year?
Yeah, once this year. Yeah, I don't know why I said that. Once this year.
How many games did he play though? 3, 2?
He only missed 1 week, I believe. Let me see.
That sounds right. It had to be 1 or 2. But
he's missed 2. He missed the first 2 weeks. Right. So he hasn't got a touchdown yet. But Baltimore is the third lowest in wide receivers allowed to a touchdown. Does that make sense? Am I saying the words correctly?
Third.
They allow the wide receivers to get touchdowns.
Allow the third most wide receiver touchdowns.
Right. And obviously their run game is great. I believe they're top 2 for their run defense, but you can definitely throw through the air, which I thought it would be vice versa this year, but it's not. And the main guys that are decent in their secondary will probably more likely be going over to Chase and not Higgins. But in the red zone, he's just targeted a lot. He got targeted again last week and somehow just didn't come down with it. We all know his talent. He's going to get fed at least 1 touchdown if they're in the red zone. Or 1 touchdown target. So with it being plus 190 odds, usually this wouldn't be something that high. It would probably be like the 40s, 50s.
This is his contract year too, isn't it? Like 99%.
Probably. I don't even know. Has he ever had a contract? Other than his rookie contract. This is rookie contract?
This is last year, I believe.
Dude, I feel like he's been playing for years.
Because
2020 is when he got signed. That's crazy.
Yeah, but he's a first round, I think.
Yeah, that's insane. So they're on his, what's it called? plus
this
one.
is last year, but Chase is he still.
He goes on free market after this year.
Yeah,
free agency.
If they don't tag him or whatever they can do.
No, this is his tag year. That's what I'm saying. Because he already had 4 years, so this is his fifth year.
Gone.
This is tag year.
He's definitely gone. They ain't gonna pay him like he deserves.
Yeah, but regardless, I can see it him getting an attempt. If he gets an attempt, I'll take that at plus 190 for a half unit to then get me up to one. Only betting half. I'll take it and move on with my winnings of 3-0 for Sunday bets. Most likely we'll be doing reels though, so look forward to that. Josh, you want to move on to your last and final bet?
Yeah, we got another quarter bet. 3 quarter bets. This is a little parlay quarter bet.
With a quarter
This
unit.
is actually a weird one. So I kept it units low.
Oh my gosh, dude. We got the fucking
parlay.
parlays again.
Parlay. It's a double. It's not really.
This is what got you in the negative.
It's a half a unit.
I'm just saying. You lose all your parlay bets. Win your straights.
So what? This is the only one I'm going to hit and everything else fucking misses?
No, this is the one you're going to miss. And
I
the
miss all
first
my
two will
parlays.
hit.
Whatever you said.
Yeah, you miss your parlays.
All right, we'll see when I sweep.
All right.
Anyways, I'm not that confident, but anyways. In this one specifically. The other ones I like a lot. So this is a weird line you'll find on FanDuel, but pretty much it's saying both teams will score. So all that means is a field goal or a touchdown. Any kind of score. Really, it could be even a safety.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, normally field goals or touchdown. So I took pretty much 2 of the high scoring games, over-unders, and then pretty much 4 teams that for the most part can keep a drive going or just have a good-ish matchup. So I got Bills versus Texans and Cardinals versus 49ers. So all 4 of them have to score within the fourth quarter. You get plus 116 odds, and I'm putting a half unit on it. Like I said, high over and under for both games. Both teams should be scoring a lot. Relatively competitive. I mean, I think if anybody's going to pull away, it's going to be the 49ers from the Cardinals, but I could be wrong.
I feel like you should get way better odds than that. 116.
So, like, if you take them
tough.
individually, they're negative over negative 200 each.
That's wild. That has to tell me, like, that makes me think the books know, like, it's going to happen.
Because they score.
Dude, for a team to score in the fourth quarter, both of them,
yeah, but
and then you combine it with 4
none of these
them.
teams are like super high defensive teams, but they are all
True. Bills defense is pretty
move.
decent. Not
They
amazing,
just got destroyed.
Yeah, they got
They've
exposed.
been running up rush yards like crazy.
Yeah, and they play Texans. Texans are elite.
Yeah, like no.
Cardinals,
Texans are going to put up
49ers.
at least a field goal. My biggest concern is Cardinals and 49ers. Like one of them choke out and don't get for some reason. Like one of them gets a really long drive, like takes up 10 minutes of the fourth quarter, and the other one chokes when they get the ball, and then the game's over.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
But either way, it's half unit plus 116 odds. We're feeling a quarter vibe.
Would you feel confident about your first 2 bets though?
Oh yeah, I love my first 2
Yeah,
bets.
I love my first 2 bets too.
I almost locked in Henry.
And my third one, I was like, yeah, let's make something
units
fun.
even. So we go the 3, 1.5.
Dude, honestly, if this line moves at all and stuff on things, I'm probably going to move it up. So watch it on social media. But anyway, let's move on to our long shot parlays.
Yeah, let me do mine.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
I got to pull mine up.
I
Anyway.
like mine a lot. We got a 2-legger. When I tell you this, you're probably going to be like,
2-leggers.
that seems way too
Oh, yeah, this is what you
good
do.
of odds.
You do like a lot of parlays for your normal bets, and then you do just a little bit for the long shots. You only do 1 leg, 2 leg,
I've done
maybe
it
for the long
once.
shot. It was twice, I think.
No, it was once.
Was it?
took. Actually,
I thought it was once. I thought it was twice. I think it was twice. But
Maybe it was
anyway,
twice.
go on.
I just wish I knew the odds are. I know they're over 1,000. I want to say it's like 1,200, which is even crazier. I just really want to know. So the bet is Saints get to play the Chiefs.
Saints
So
Chiefs.
I'm
All right.
taking the Saints money line, which is like by in itself a pretty good bet.
I actually love that.
It's like plus 2 something.
Chiefs have been getting away with murder
Yeah, every game the Chiefs won has been under 1 touchdown.
with very questionable calls.
Yep, and they lost Rashee Rice, so I think they're going to play good defense at home.
Yep.
But the Saints are also pretty solid defense, and the Chiefs don't have too many weapons, so if they're able to target just getting rid of Kelsey, it's going to be a tough game for them.
And they can't stop Kamara.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lower scoring game, but it'll be a lot closer than the spread's 5.5, which is kind of crazy. Anyways, Saints money line, and you're going to parlay that with Jawan Johnson, anytime touchdown. If you don't know who that is, he's a very, very tall tight end. He's caught plenty of touchdowns in his career. They like utilizing him quite a bit, but he's been injured. He had a fractured heel or toe before the training camp started. So he's been out like probably almost, he's been obviously rehabbing back, but like he hasn't really played a single snap yet. So that's probably the only reason we have really good odds right now, because his touchdown alone's plus 5 something. So you
say this is definitely the one that's towering you over the 1,000.
Yeah. Well, you put them two together and you get plus 1,200.
Not too bad.
For 2 legs for a guy who scored. I'll see if I can look it up. I know he scored.
I feel more confident about your first one, but your second one is definitely going to be, at least it's in the same game, so you could just be watching the game and be like, oh shit.
Yeah, and as soon as he scores the touchdown, I'll be like, go Saints.
Right. You'd be like, Saints fanatic.
Suck these nuts.
This is the game I'm watching now. I'm just going to make sure it's money line.
Jawan, here, I'll tell you how many career touchdowns. I'm pulling them up right now. I feel like just last year he had like 5, but I could be wrong.
All right. I got 2
Hold up. He had 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdowns last year. And that was the year with Carr. His first year with Carr. Year before that, he had 5. So it's kind of like a normal medium usage tight end.
Yeah.
We'll
All right.
see.
I got 2. My main goal is to just give away money with these. So I'm going to run 2 of them, and hopefully they hit. They're both anytime touchdown scores. And some of them they bleed over with them. But I got T. Higgins, anytime touchdown.
Oh, that one's
hasn't got a touchdown, and that's one of my picks for half a unit. He hasn't had a touchdown this year. Keeps getting these targets in the end zone, so I'm going to take him there. This is basically just who hasn't got a touchdown. Najee Harris hasn't got a touchdown. Thought he was going to get one last week versus the Colts, and you have stupid Justin Fields running it in over and over. It's basically like Bills and Cook 2.0, but Cook can catch a lot more than Harris. Just because he gets the opportunity. But anyway, Harris playing Cowboys with Parson out. He should be able to run it straight up the gut and just get that touchdown, you know what I'm saying, for the first time versus Cowboys. It's a Sunday night prime game, too. Come on now. At Pittsburgh.
I actually like this one.
And then Travis Kelce hasn't got a touchdown this year either, but he has played all games. And we have Rashee Rice out. That gets you plus 1,287 odds.
Kind of crazy, honestly.
Yeah. And then if that hits, I will be giving away $150. So if it hits,
I just don't know that.
Hit us up.
How the hell does those odds add up to plus 1,200?
I don't know. But real fast, you must be a subscriber. And if you are a subscriber, you have to be a public subscriber so we can see that you are subscribed to the thing. You have to like and share our video. If you do not, and I hit this bet, you're missing out on $150. Tough luck if you didn't do all the things. I don't know what to tell you, but you had the opportunity. You have the chance to go ahead and do it. Let's all hit it together and get that W for the spread of the money. And the last one is Aaron Jones, anytime touchdown. I profit juice this one on 30%. Aaron Jones, anytime touchdown. He plays the Jets. The only way you can really beat the Jets, their secondary is actually pretty good.
What's it called in both? That's bad.
I don't know. In all 3. Aaron Jones to get a touchdown versus the Jets. Then I got T. Higgins again versus the Ravens. And then this one is Stephon Diggs. Again, this is like my my prop bet. Stephon Diggs comes in, revenge game, gets the touchdown. It's like, yeah, suck a Josh Allen. Check out these stats. Gets that touchdown. Austin Eckler just got a touchdown last week through the air, or 2 weeks ago. I forget if he was out. I think he was out last week. So, yeah, 2 weeks ago, he got a touchdown through the air. Now, Brian Robinson is game time decision. Let's hope and cross our fingers that he is out, so that way this line's even easier.
Is he on your fantasy team?
Yes, he's starting versus you.
Eckler
I played
or
Josh
Brian
this
Robinson?
week. Eckler's.
Okay, I'm
And he plays the Browns. Browns is a pretty good defense, but Commanders score at will, especially with Jaden Daniels being like the MVP for Rookie of the Year this year.
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
So
out that
they're going to
future bet.
score, and as long as Brian Robinson's out, Eckler's odds go up like significantly, but I'm getting a plus 113 just for that. Altogether, with the 30% juice, I'm getting it at plus 4,166. Before that, it was 3,200. Again, if that one hits, it'll be a little bit less, but we'll discuss that after you subscribe, like, and share.
Got a final note since y'all just want to bring up the offensive rookie of the year. If you didn't already notice, I got a future bet out. Pretty much get on the train before it's crazy negative odds that it's not worth putting anything on. But we got Jaden Daniels, offensive rookie of the year, 10 units on it. It's a lock. What's his name is the next highest odds up is Neighbors at like plus 240.
But he just got hurt.
He's going to miss the next game. Already not looking good for his stats. Jaden Daniels stays healthy. He's already hyped up in all of media. His odds are only going to keep going down and down and down. So worst case scenario, split your bet 2 ways. If you want to put 10 units on it, put 5 units and another 5 units. That'll allow you to cash out when they give you a really good cash out towards the end of the year. Or you can hedge it, but it just gives you more options. So, like, you can be like, hey, let me take my money back and some. And now I don't have to worry about this $50 and let that ride out. But, yeah, putting 10 units on it, I got it at negative 120 odds. Another reason why I said it was a lock is the difference in odds between books while I was looking around was crazy. I got it for negative 120 on DraftKings. The next best book was negative 150 on Parks, so our local casino.
Who's this, Stroud?
No, Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Offensive rookie of the year.
Daniels.
But pretty much to say, FanDuel had negative 160. DraftKings at negative 120. Like, you're not going to get better odds than that.
Right.
It's almost all going to be negative 150 or worse now. So I'm saying take it at negative 150. Once it gets to negative 200, it starts questioning, like, is this even worth it? So hop on it before it's not worth it.
Right. Real fast, obviously we're getting close to that 40-minute marker off the top of your dome. I know I've been thinking about it a little bit, and I have a bet on it. Offensive player of the year, who would you pick?
Just overall offensive player of the year? Don't they give this to, like
not quarterbacks, because they give MVPs a quarterback, so it's like a wide receiver, running back.
I mean, I would have originally said Neighbors, but he's already hurt, and he's not going to win offensive rookie.
And he would have. Well, yeah, I guess so.
So just overall, who the hell's
I don't think they would use a rookie for offense. You got Kamara.
Can't be Kamara.
Barkley.
He's going to not be as consistent later on.
You got Kamara. You got Barkley. You got.
I can see Barkley.
What's the dude's over in Texans wide receiver? Collins.
Oh, I would take him.
And
he's on. You know, he's on pace for 2,000 yards. 2,000 yard season receiving.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
No, I would pick Nico 100%.
So what I did was I picked Collins and I picked Kamara, and I just hedged them both. So one of them hits, then I'm gonna be able to go positive.
No way.
He's still doing it though. I took it after the first week. I took both of them.
So
we'll see. Either way, I think Collins is gonna be a great one, especially if Stroud and him stay healthy, and then other people just dip off. And right now, they don't look like they can win every game. They're not blowing people out, so he literally has to keep throwing and throwing and throwing. And he's been catching everything. But thought I'd throw that in there. Again, if you want to get into our giveaways, make sure you publicly subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, comment, and share. And we hope you guys have a great weekend. Peace.